So then we moved to Empire turn 3. So on the right-hand side, he decided not to charge my Grey Relique with his unit of knights, probably because he thought that he might just be stuck there in combat for a while, which I agree. He had a character in there that during the first part of this battle report I was confused what he was. Now that I see this, I remember that was his general, and they moved him out of that big knight unit to the other side of the hill, and he's facing the back of my general. So I assume he was just trying to make it so I didn't have an easy charge against his steam tank. And you can see me with the great swords up. Now I took this unit of five, that detachment, and charged into the flank of my knights errant there in the middle of the screen. And as soon as he did it, I was just thrilled, because I think he was thinking that he could hold me up because it gets a flank charge, and so I wouldn't get my rank bonus. But I'm thinking I've got 6 attacks, 3 human, 3 horse to go against him. His armor save isn't great. I'm probably going to get at least 1 wound, and if I do, he doesn't even have a flank. So I would have a banner outnumber the wounds. I have a decent chance of breaking him. And if I do break him, I can chase after him, and then on my turn, I'll have an easy charge into his knights. So as soon as he charged me, I was very, very happy to see that. Less happily, on the upper left-hand corner, the swordsman charged into the flank of my Pegasus knights, and I don't know. I didn't like that because you know that I really can't hold there, but those Pegasus knights deserve it for not even being able to beat a stupid detachment on that hill. Over here, I was a little bit surprised. His Knights of the White Wolf decided not to charge at the front of my Grail Knights with 2 characters, which I guess in hindsight makes sense that they may not want to do that. So he just kind of scoots right on by me, which, again, he's got Knights on both sides of me now, so that's not a bad strategy. So there's just really another look at the board. His steam tank has now taken 2 wounds, and I know at least one of them is from a misfire. The other one, I don't know if it was another misfire or if I got lucky on a shot. I just don't remember why he has 2 wounds on him. So he killed one of these guys. That's how it looks before fighting. And after fighting, this worked out just like I hoped it would. So I killed one of them. He didn't have a flank anymore. I beat him by combat res, chased him, and again, that was his turn. And whenever you charge and you get broken, that really hurts you, because then now it's my turn, and I could, if I wanted to, I could charge the great swords, which I don't, or I could charge the detachment again, and that'll take me right into his knights, and that would be just wonderful. And if I get my knights errant charging into his knights, I'd take my Grail Relic and turn it towards the great swords, and I'd be happy to get those 2 units engaged. I think they could stick there for a while until some other knights came over to help me out. So very happy with how that went. So, Bretonnia turn 3. I take my Knights Errant, I charge the detachment, they run and get behind his knights. And so I say, okay, that's fine, I'm going to go against your knights, and he decides to flee with them. And so it leaves me right in front of his greatswords, which real good strategy on his part. Now, if he charges with his greatswords, I'm just going to flee, because I'm not going to hold against him. So if he charges, I'll just flee, and that's going to set me up for a countercharge with my Grail Knights. That's what I'm thinking. Now, if you'll notice in the upper left, his swordsman charged into the flank of my Pegasus Knights, and they held. He wasn't able to do any wounds to me. I think I did maybe a wound back, maybe not. However it was, he has outnumber, flank, and all that kind of stuff, but nevertheless, I held in combat. Here on the left-hand side, let's see, on Empire turn 2, he charged my Pegasus Knights who fled. So on Brett turn 2, my Pegasus Knights rallied. On Brett turn 3, I charged his Knights of the White Wolf. He decided to flee, because it would have left my Pegasus Knights right there in front of his Outriders, and he rolled something crazy like a 4 for his flee move, and my Pegasus Knights caught him. So good strategy on his part, and just amazingly bad luck with his Knights of the White Wolf fleeing 4 inches and getting caught by my Pegasus Knights. If you look at the top, I took the character that's on the, it's a bad picture, you can barely see it, but he's on that green horse. That's the Green Knight horse. He charged, what did he do? He charged his wizard. He had pulled his wizard out of that crew, and so I charged him. So I'm going to get his wizard out of the game. Not that he's been doing a whole lot, but still like to see get rid of him. So, oh, there we go. And since I'm kind of I just threw another model on the back of that Green Knight horse. He won't stay on there on the hill. So there's that crazy battle. I can't stay long with my Pegasus Knights. I mean, I've got a BSB nearby, but he's got me by 3 ranks, outnumber, a flank. It's just ugly. So another look at the board. Yeah, in the woods I took my Knights of the Realm and I just turned them. So after battle, yeah, I killed his wizard and overran with my paladin. So my paladin's off the board. His swordsman beat my Pegasus Knights, but I got away. But the problem is that was my turn. So on his turn he's going to be able to charge me, and when he does, he's going to chase me off the board. And what he did, he has 1 man left in that detachment. That's the detachment that held up my Pegasus Knights in front of the cannon. On his turn, he charges my Pegasus Knights with him and him only. And so I have to flee, and so I lose a whole unit of Pegasus Knights because they get charged by 1 guy from a detachment. Adding insult to injury, I swear. But like I said, those Pegasus Knights deserve it. If you're a unit of Pegasus Knights and you charge a detachment of 5 guys and you can't beat them, you deserve to get chased off the board. Empire turn 4. Oh my goodness. So he has 8 Empire Knights with the Warrior Priest who fled my charge, and on his turn when he went to rally him, he rolled a 10 and ran right off the board. Big point sink there. And then the detachment unit failed to rally as well, but who really cares? So they're at the top of the screen, but the Empire Knights are all the way off the board. You can see my Knights Errant fled his charge from his great swords, and then the real nasty surprise, he rolled for 5 steam points on his steam tank and had the movement to hit my Grail Knights. And so we measured it, and he only needed 4 steam points to hit him, and so he had an extra grinding. So he's going to get impact hits of what? D3 plus another 4 D3 because he moved 12 inches. So 5 D3 impact hits, and then he's going to be able to do his grinding move as well. So, and I couldn't flee. I would have fled in a heartbeat if it was anybody else, but these guys are immune to psychology, so they're kind of stuck there. So this side of the board, you can see my Pegasus Knights that were up by his swordsmen are gone. Otherwise, you can see what's going on there. I'll just flip through these pictures. Don't know why I took so many. Yeah, there we go. Maybe so he shoots my Pegasus Knights. I don't have a ward save anymore, so yeah, that hurt. He killed 2 out of those 3. Shot at these guys, killed one of them. But I passed my panic test. His, if you look at the lower left, you really can't see it. You'll see it in future turns, but those Grail Knights they're almost all gone. His steam tank just came in and just slapped him around. It was so painful to watch. That's one problem I really have with Grail Knights. I do not like my inability to flee. So his steam tank manned up,